My name is Jeff Hammack. I'm the president of the Springfield Catholic Schools Development Board. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Emerald Evening 27 presents Irish Chefs. We have a very fun show in store for you this evening. Our 4 celebrity chefs will show some of their techniques and sit down and answer a few questions. Along the way, we'll have a few surprises. But please don't forget, Emerald Evening is one of the largest fundraisers for the Springfield Catholic School systems, with the monies raised here tonight going to support technology. And if we've learned anything over the past few weeks and months, technology is very important to the education of our youth. Now, before we begin the show, I'd like to thank a few people. I'd like to thank our sponsors, underwriters, and donors. Without you, this would not be possible. I'd also like to thank the Development Board, who worked tirelessly to make sure that this event was pulled together. I'd like to thank Sister Cecilia and Bishop Rice for their support. I'd like to thank the Central Office for all of their help. I'd like to thank the Emerald Evening Committee for everything that they did to pull together the auction and raffle items. I'd like to thank Suzanne Cronkite and Jennifer Weber for all the work that they have done behind the scenes, making sure that this would come together tonight. I would also like to point out and thank our chairs, Jennifer Corbett, Aaron D'Anastasio, and June Lammers. Without you guys, none of this would happen, so thank you very much. Now, before we begin the evening, let me remind you, we have an auction, we have some raffles, a 50-50, and tonight's Fund to Need will support the Shepherd's Fund. If you would like to know more about the Shepherd's Fund, please see the link below. Now, as we do with all Catholic events, before we begin, or let's say break bread for Irish chefs, let me toss it over to Bishop Rice for our prayer. Bishop?
Thanks, Jeff. And thanks to all of you for supporting the Emerald Evening for Springfield Catholic Schools. The support that you provide will help in raising money for technology for the entire school system. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for the opportunity to support Catholic education. Bless us this evening wherever we may be. Join me as we pray, bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you, everyone.
Go to bidpal.net/irishchefs on your mobile device.
Browse the auction items and raffles on the drop-down menu.
The Fund to Need this evening is for the Shepherd's Fund.
The 50-50 raffle can be found under the drop-down menu.
In the upper right-hand corner, you will find a person icon to check on your activity.
Lost on the website? Just click the menu button and go home.
Don't share your link with anyone else.
We opened in October of 2018, and we've been here cooking ever since. Today we're going to go over a Brussels sprout dish that has been on the menu for about the past 5 months. We're really pleased with it, and so we're going to walk through it here. The first thing we have is, of course, Brussels. So we have some fresh Brussels as well as some fried Brussels. So really quick, we're just going to fry those off. And this all happens really quickly. It's sort of deceptively easy. So while those fry, we have some shredded Brussels sprouts too. So we like combining the fried, crispy, crunchy Brussels sprouts with some fresh ones to give it a little more texture. Next we have a squid ink vinaigrette. This dish I feel is really indicative of how we cook and how we approach food. So rather than sort of having a dish that highlights an animal, we really like to highlight the vegetable and sort of garnish with accents of animals here and there. So the squid ink vinaigrette is very umami driven. It's oceanic, it's not fishy. It's just got a lot of flavor and umami. There's some Calabrian chilies, squid ink, miso as well. So we have our crispy fried Brussels that we'll add. And just give those a mix. So next we have our warm dressed Brussels that'll go into the bowl. From here we're garnishing. So first we have some orange zest to just give a little accent and brightness, a little kind of floral lift to the dish. Next we have these Marcona almonds, which are almonds that come from Iran. We toast them and then toss them in a rosemary salt that we make. So we fry rosemary and then blend 20% of the rosemary in with salt by weight. Next we have Parmesan that we've shaved here with a peeler, just to give a little more depth and umami as well. This dish has a lot of kind of Italian cues without feeling Italian at all. And then finally we just garnish with a little bit of some micro parsley. Give our bowl a wipe. And that's it.
Don't forget, the auction is still open, and that 50-50 continues to grow.
Mexican Villa, anyone?
I became a chef sort of on accident, I suppose. I've always loved food. I've always loved cooking. I grew up sort of in my mother's apron strings, if you will. There's very early pictures of me standing on a step stool to get to the kitchen counter to help her in the kitchen. So food's always been really important to me. So as I grew up. In high school, I was kicking my parents out of the house to throw dinner parties for my friends just so I could see and figure out how to cook a new dish that was interesting to me. And then, during college, I went to school for professional writing because I thought I was going to write cookbooks for chefs. And then after college, I fell into an internship with the Marlin Network, and through that got a lot of exposure to food and some really, really smart chefs with incredible pedigrees. I got to do a lot of consulting around the country, learning from some, like I said, really smart, talented people. After that, I spent some time cooking in Europe, and we started doing pop-ups. I met Cassidy in 2015 or 16, and she had the wild idea that we should do a pop-up. So we started doing pop-ups in 2016, and then in 2018 we opened Progress, our brick-and-mortar restaurant here. The process for writing new menus here usually starts the day after we roll out the previous menu. So I started thinking about the next season, what's going to be in season, start working with our farmers to see what they can grow for us, what we can get, where we can source, and then I'll write a menu and put it away. And a couple days later, I'll write another one, put it away. And after several weeks of this, you have amassed a catalog of different menus, and then I go back through and start cross-referencing what kind of reoccurring ideas I had throughout the brainstorming process, what ideas I still like, what ideas I think will be good for our restaurant and our clientele. Some ideas I just really want to flesh out. From there, I kick it around with the team, my sous chef Tim, and we talk about it a lot for a long time. And then probably about a month out from the menu change, which coincides with the new seasons, we will start doing R&D, prepping new dishes, testing, writing recipes, and then away we go.
People they're gonna love this item, man. They're gonna love this Joseph statue. Hang on, hey, eyes. Where's the camera? Right there.
Hello, my name is Jeff Hammock, and for the past 2 years, I've had the privilege of serving alongside Justin French as the chairs for the Shepherd's Fund. The Shepherd's Fund was created and designed to provide a perpetual income stream to attract, retain, and support the best possible individuals, teachers, coaches, administrators, and staff of Springfield Catholic Schools, in whose hands we entrust our children each and every school day. Under the leadership of Bishop Rice, Sister Cecilia Ann, Suzanne Cronkite, and the Central Office team, the Shepherd's Fund Committee, consisting of Dan Duff, Aaron D'Anastasio, and Richard Walters, and with the Shepherd's Fund spokespeople, David O'Reilly, John Griesmer, Kelly Lehman, Ryan O'Reilly, and Kristen Roball, introduced the Shepherd's Fund at Emerald Evening 26 in March of 2020. And I am happy to report that in the first year, there are over $2.4 million committed to the Shepherd's Fund. And thanks to the generosity of our founding donors, we are able to start using this endowment to support our teachers and staff as early as this next school year. This year at Emerald Evening 27 presents Irish Chefs. The Fund to Need donations will again go to support this very important fund. I am asking you to give prayerful consideration to a gift to support the Shepherd's Fund. Please go to bitpal.net/Irish Chefs and select the Shepherd's Fund. And for the first 100 donations we receive of at least $500, we will send you this Shepherd's Fund notebook so that you can show your support of the fund and help us spread the word. If we receive 100 donations of $500 or more, we will be over halfway to our event goal of $100,000 to go to the Shepherd's Fund. Thank you for your support of the Shepherd's Fund, Emerald Evening, and our Catholic school system.
Supporting the Shepherd's Fund supports our teachers so that we can have a better education.
Hi, I'm Cassidy Rollins. I'm the general manager and co-owner here at Progress. By trade, I'm a bartender, so I'm going to make one of my favorite cocktails today for you. It's called The Last Word. When I was bartending, people always used to ask me what my favorite cocktail was, and I never really had a good answer. But finally, I landed on this cocktail. It's made out of gin, green chartreuse, maraschino liqueur, and fresh lime juice. It's all equal parts. This is a pre-Prohibition era cocktail originally. As time went on, the cocktail kind of lost traction, got lost in all the cocktail scene. In the 1950s, it had a little bit of a revival. And then again in the early 2000s in Seattle, it got a big revival, and it's on most cocktail menus around the country. Any bartender that knows what they're doing should be able to make this cocktail for you. You can make it at home. So I'll just get started right away. I use dry gin. I like the J. Rieger out of Kansas City personally. So we'll do a 3/4 ounce pour of the gin. A 3/4 ounce pour of green chartreuse, which is an herbal liqueur. A 3/4 ounce pour of maraschino liqueur. And a 3/4 ounce pour of lime juice. Fresh squeezed. It's important. We'll give this cocktail a good shake. And then you'll double strain it. This cocktail is super refreshing. It's herbal, it's tart, it's tangy. Can have it any time of year. It's one of the reasons why it's my favorite, because it just kind of works with everything. And you can really impress your friends at home when you make this one too. So yeah, last word.
Emerald Evening supports our technology and endowments. In regard to technology, it is so important because it meets the needs of a lot of different learners. So teachers are able to use technology in the classroom to enhance their curriculum and also meet the needs of a variety of different learning styles. And then also, with COVID, we surprisingly have learned the importance of being able to have access to a variety of different technology pieces, because it can help our students continue their learning. So if we have to be out of the building, whether it be weather related or COVID related, we can continue that learning for our students, so time isn't lost.
Hello, my name is Sister Cecilia Ann, and thank you for joining me. Today I will be making cheeseburger balls, which become a quick family favorite. So the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 400 degrees. And I have prepared our ingredients here, but I have some name cards so you can see what I am adding. You will add 1 pound of hamburger that has already been thawed. You will previously have cooked 6 slices of bacon and then tap them dry, and then crumbled them, and then save 2 tablespoons of the oil. And we're going to add that into our hamburger mixture here. And then you will add in as well 1/2 cup shredded cheese, 1/2 cup of Parmesan grated cheese, 1/4 cup of chopped parsley. Now it can be fresh, and that's always better, but dried works as well. we have 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. We will have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. It's always good. We will have half a teaspoon of salt. And again, if you have any salt issues, you can go light on the salt. And if you don't mind, a half teaspoon of pepper. I tend to like pepper, so I might over pepper things. Then we have 2 eggs, 2 large eggs. And then we will have 10 buttery crackers, and I'm using Ritz crackers that you have crumbled, and we will add that in here. Then we are going to simply mix it up, stir it up with your, actually I'm wearing gloves, and so if you wanted you could actually use your hands, but we're going to use the spoon to be more proper. Okay, we're going to mix this up. You will need a cookie sheet, and on that cookie sheet you will probably want to spray it with a little oil. Okay, so we're going to just stir up our little hamburger here, and then we're going to be forming little, approximately 1-inch meatballs. Okay, let's see here. Almost done. Okay, so once you feel that it is well blended, then you're going to go ahead and we're just going to make little meatballs right here. Okay, we'll just do a couple more here on the pan. Once you put it in the oven, you will only need about 15 minutes for it to bake. So we have, you could fill the whole pan, but we will open our oven, put it in. After 15 minutes, you will be complete, and you will have delicious little cheese ball meatballs.
But wait, there's more. Tonight's auction can get you a wonderful pair of Guess sunglasses that I guarantee you will look better than they do on him.
Good morning, my Catholic friend. Today I'm going to cook lamb shank, and then I'm going to make some homemade fettuccine noodles, and then I'm going to saute the fettuccine, do the lamb shank, and bada bing bada bang. So first thing first, we're going to cut the vegetable, okay? And there is a camera on my finger there, so first of all you peel your onion, all right? And when you peel your onion, if you breathe with your nose and not with your mouth, you're going to prevent the crying too much. That's what they always told me. I've been doing that for many years, but I still cry like a baby. Anyway, just in case, you know, I don't know. Anyway, so now we look at the other camera and I show you how I cut my onion. Okay? Look at that. And because it's for a lamb shank, you don't have to be perfect, okay? Then we take a carrot. Now this carrot here is been washed. So what I do, instead of peeling it, I'm washing it. Why? You don't lose any of the flavor. The carrots for the lamb shank, we don't want to do it too thin. I want it in the sauce a little bit, so give you a little bit more of a consistency, a little bit more of a, you know what I mean? That you can see it. All right, got a little bit of carrots. Take a little bit of celery. Okay, look at this. I'm crying. You see, so it doesn't work. So now a little bit of celery, okay? I need to go fast because he's telling me to go a little bit faster. I don't know what is that. Speed up. So, okay. Man, Jeff is one of a kind. Little bit of garlic, okay. So now we got all our veggie, and also take a little bit of rosemary. And look what I do with the rosemary, okay? I'm taking the rosemary and I peel it like this, okay? So then I put everything here, that way I can use this for decoration later, okay? Very good. So, this is the first process. Let's go to the next step.
Do you like a good game of cornhole? Tonight and tonight only. Custom Chiefs and Cardinal cornhole game.
Thanks everyone for your support. And I just want to let you know that Nicola's Restaurant is offering to host a dinner with me for 10 people. And so that's another opportunity for you to support Springfield Catholic Schools. Thank you.
All right. So after we cut the vegetable, now what we do, now is the time to do the meat, okay? So this is 2 nice lamb shank, all right? First of all, turn on your pan. You want it nice and hot. You don't want to boil it. You want to, all we want to do here is roast it a little bit, give them a little bit of that little patina of roasting the lamb. So what we do, we take some salt, all right, both sides, a little bit of black pepper, all right, and then I take a little bit of paprika, okay. So now we take it, make sure it's all nice and covered, okay. So now here we got a nice hot pan. Always be careful when you put oil on a pan, okay. So, a little bit of oil, and as you see, it's nice and hot. So be careful now. We take the lamb, put it down, let it roast for a minute. So then what we do, we take the veggie that we cut a minute ago and we add it, okay? Look at that, that's beautiful. This is the water that we're going to use for the pasta. I already salted it, okay? And these are my beautiful veggies that I cook early, okay? You see, if you keep the oil nice and hot, it's already getting the nice coloring of the meat, all right? So now what we do, let's take all our veggies that we cut and let's add it on top of the lamb. Look at that beauty, look at that beauty. We let it cook a little bit, okay? Then in a minute, when I see my lamb has a little bit of color, what I do, I remove the lamb again, okay? Let the veggie cook just a smidge. Put your lamb back, okay? Now what you do, very important. This is the most important. If you want to make a good lamb, you must try the wine, okay? Make sure the coloring is good. Not bad, not bad. So, you take wine, pour your wine in, okay? Unfortunately, it doesn't have enough alcohol to do a nice flame. Alright, so if you guys want me to do a little bit of flame, I can go get some, maybe some vodka or something and do a little. You want me to? Give me a second and I go get it, okay?
But wait, there's more. After tonight's hangover clears up, you'll be sure to enjoy this lovely gift basket from Brown Derby.
So, I went to get a bottle of grappa. Alright, grappa is Italian. So now what do? See, that's wrong. You should never put alcohol as you are on the fire. So what we need to do, we need to move the pan. You put your alcohol and then you do your flame. Why? If I would have done it like this, it would have like woof. I would have burned my beautiful beer, so forget about it. So here, we got our lamb, we got everything. So now what we do? You can add a little bit of water, you can add a little bit of tomato, whatever you want. So what I do here, I add a little bit of tomato, okay. I still let my beautiful lamb cook for a second, and as soon as the fire is over, what I do, take some of this water, a little bit of salt, pour it in, not too much, and now what I do, I stick it in the oven. Look at that. Bang! The lamb is going to cook, 375, 400. It can take like 3 hours or so, depend of your oven, so keep an eye. And now I'm going to make the fresh pasta. So as this is cooking, I'm going to make fettuccine. So I'll be right back.
After moving here my freshman year, I really noticed the difference between the teachers. It was one of the main reasons why I moved schools. My teachers from the past school didn't really show much interest in the students, and it showed through how we saw ourselves. Once I came here, I noticed a huge difference. The teachers cared about their students, they show it through the work that they do, and they are always available to help students no matter their needs, inside or outside the classroom. It really shows the teachers, and we appreciate them all very much.
So now what I do, I'm making the fresh fettuccine, all right? So everybody knows to make pasta is a flour and eggs, a little bit of oil and salt, no big deal. So this is the pasta. I made it the day before. I like to always make my pasta one day before or even in the morning and let it sit. That way it doesn't stretch too much, you know what I mean? So, I don't know if you guys have a pasta machine, but if you don't, that can be a little gift, okay? Maybe a little birthday gift or Christmas gift for next year, whatever. All right, look at that. I love making fresh pasta. So, put it down on the one over here. This one here, it comes with different type of shape. Like this one here is fettuccine, you can have spaghetti, linguine, angel hair, you name it. But look how beautiful it is. Look at that. It's like, almost like a pleasure to hold it in your hand. So, a little bit of flour, that way, after it doesn't stick when we cut it, okay? Look at that. Look at that beauty. Perfect. So now I take it, and I make it go through the fettuccine cutter. Look at that. Okay? Look at that beauty. Look at that. So, zack. Zack. And zack. See, in Italy when I was a kid, I didn't have an electric pasta machine. Tried to do it all by hand. Let me tell you, it was a pain. You know? Kind of mix it up a little bit with a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick. And then we go to the second process. We're going to boil it with salted water, and then we mix it with the sauce, and bada bing, bada bang. Thank you for watching.
Honey, why did you ever take me anywhere? I want to go on a trip. We never go anywhere.
Well, dear, I'm working, and there's been a pandemic.
I know, but brighter days ahead. Oh, hey, the Emerald Evening Auction has a lot of great trips. There's the Spheria Resort, the Perch Family Cabin, and a family fishing excursion on Table Rock Lake.
Okay, bid on the one you'd like.
Oh, okay. I'll bid on all of them. You're the best, honey.
Please give to the Shepherd's Fund. Thank you.
All right, my Catholic friends, now we're back. Final product here, okay? So now the lamb is cooked. So what I do, I open my oven, okay? Take out my lamb. Oh my God, look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. So now what I do, I take my lamb and move it to a different plate right now, okay? Take this beautiful sauce and put it on this. I throw my pasta on salted water, remember to salt the pasta, fettuccine. They could think about fettuccine when you make homemade noodles, they cook very, very fast, okay? Look at that. As soon the noodles come out in top of the water, I mean it's cooked, okay? Well, let me move this plate, not by my finger. All right? So, let's do a flip here. I like to add a little bit more of tomato sauce, just a little bit, not too much. Just so I give a little bit more of a saucy tomatoey, okay? And my noodles, fettuccine noodles, they're cooked, right? Give another minute. Take them off, let it drain a little bit, drop it on your sauce, okay? And now, we saute with a beautiful sauce here. If you wanna, a little bit of tomato, but let's not add too much. If not, it becomes a tomato sauce, not a lamb shank sauce, okay? Look at that. We saute this, a little bit of Parmesan cheese in the sauce and on the noodles now. Now, we're going to plate them. Look at that. We're going to take one of the lamb, we put them on top like this. A little bit more of Parmesan cheese, a little bit everywhere, looks nice. And then a nice rosemary decoration. This is your lamb shank with pasta. Bada bing, bada bang. Guys, thank you very much for helping the Catholic school. Thank you for supporting all our local business all year long. We really appreciate it. God bless you and God bless America. Thank you. Can I take my mask off?
Yes.
All right, good. Well, was not sure and got this just in case. Anyway, no, but seriously, guys, this is not a joke. For our seniors and the more in danger, more sensitive about this, let's make sure that we keep the mask until this is over. Let's protect our fellow American and our citizen. Anyway, so how did I become a chef? I grew up in Italy, and my parents, they had a restaurant that now my brother owns. And this bottle of wine, matter of fact, comes from my parents' restaurant. It's a 1959 Spanna. I don't even know if they make it more, but I know Francoli is still making products. So anyway, grew up with the business. I learned how to cook with my mother. and then she asked me to go to school to become a chef. And I thought it was a good opportunity to keep the tradition of a restaurant business going, and I became a chef through school and through experience traveling the world. Now, a lot of people always ask me, what's your favorite food to prepare? You know, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think, me personally, as working every day in a kitchen, I have a favorite. My favorite is really, if I cook for somebody, is what's their favorite to eat. If you like to eat fish, I like to eat fish. And I like to cook fish for you that night. If you like to eat beef, I cook beef. So my favorite thing to cook is what makes you happy to eat.
Thanks for taking time to join us. Can you tell us your name and where you go to school?
My name's Reagan Barron, and I go to St. Elizabeth Anseton.
And what does your mom do?
She's a caterer for Infused Catering.
That's great. Now, does she have a dish that she makes that's one of your favorites?
Yes, her smoked chicken spinach artichoke dip. And it's so easy to make. And first you start off with...
Don't tell anybody how to make it!
Hi, I'm Lauren Berlew. We're here at the bar in Nicola's. I'm going to be making a Blackstone Manhattan for you today. This was developed by master bartender Dale DeGroff. And if anyone's year has been like mine, and I'm sure it has, we're all going to need something strong. What we're starting with is Booker's Bourbon. This is an overproof bourbon, so slow and steady, go careful with this one, but you are always able to use a lower proof bourbon if you need to do something a little gentler. We're going to start with about 1.5 ounces of that. Next, we're going to be adding Amaro. Our favorite here, Nicola's favorite also, is the Ramazzotti. This has a subtle bitterness to it. It gives it the dark color for the name of the Blackstone. We're going to be adding about 3/4 ounce of that, followed by just a little dash of an apricot liqueur. My favorite is Marie Brizard's Apres, but you can use any brandy-based apricot liqueur. We're going to be adding 1/2 ounce of any high-quality red Rosso or sweet vermouth. We're going to be using 2 types of bitters in this, regular Angostura bitters, 2 dashes of, and also Regan's orange bitters, 2 of that as well. I'm going to add ice to our cocktail mixture up to the top and stir with a long, sturdy bar spoon. We're going to be doing a chop stir, so up and down motion, drawing the ice toward yourself, gets everything nice combined. It adds in a little bit of the water without bruising the liquors. Just enough to start to melt that ice should do it. Strain that into your chilled martini glass. And we're going to be adding a Luxardo cherry to the bottom and flamed orange peel to float on top. So to do that, take a little bit of orange, just the rind, put that firmly between your fingers, get your flame going, touch it to the orange peel, and then squeeze. That makes a lovely, lovely aroma the first few drinks of your cocktail. So now we have a completed Blackstone Manhattan. If you can't taste the wonderful layers of the Amaro, the orange peel in this cocktail, you probably have COVID. Thank you so much from the bar here at Nicola's. We wish you health and happiness in the new year.
Watermill Cove is amazing. Just loved the ambiance of it. It's all right here, and enjoy your stay.
You literally don't have to leave the resort to have the week that we've had. I say it's just a friendly place, just a place to be. This is a perfect getaway spot.
Welcome back. It's Sister Cecilia Ann again at Springfield Catholic Schools Foods Room. And this time we're going to be making some herbed potato stacks. They're very easy to do. I have preheated our oven to 375 degrees. I have a muffin pan, and again we're just going to spray it here with a little bit of oil. Then we will take 4 large potatoes, and if you have a slicer, you can slice it. If not, I just used a knife, and you cut them to be 1/16 of an inch thick. Then we're going to add in there 3 tablespoons of butter. On top of that, we will be adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Again, the olive oil is always better for you, so we like to use olive oil. And then we will be adding 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of rosemary. Then we will use kosher salt, not just regular table salt, but kosher salt. And we will use 1.5 tablespoons, or rather teaspoons, 1.5 teaspoons. And then we will use 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Okay, and again, I tend to like pepper, so you might have to go easy on the pepper compared to me. All right. Then all you have to do is mix it up so everything is nicely coated. Okay, just gonna do that, stir it around for a few times. Now, when you're choosing your potatoes, you don't want to choose really fat potatoes because they're going to need to fit the circles into these pie tins, these little muffin pins. So then we just take them out, and they're stacked. So you're going to stack them about 4 or 5 high. And if you can put the smaller ones on the bottom, because the muffin pans tend to be narrower on the bottom, and then you can put the wider ones on top. So we're going to do that. And here we're going to stack them up. And once you are done, if you like, after you're done, you can put fresh little sprigs of thyme or rosemary or parsley on the top for decoration as well. And that's very good. Now, since these are potatoes, they take a little bit longer. So we're going to put them in our oven for 375 degrees for about 45 to 55 minutes. And after that time, you can take them out of the pan or out of the oven, let them set for 3 to 5 minutes, and then you take them out, and we have a wonderful looking little potato stacks.
Hi everybody, this is Pat Duran coming to you from live at Metropolitan Grill here in Springfield, Missouri. I also own a couple other eateries out there. I own Great American Taco Company, I own Retro Metro, and I own Hard Knocks Barbecue. Tonight's dinner will be coming to you from Metropolitan Grill, and being that I'm supporting Emerald Evening and Catholic school systems, I thought what a better way to do it than to have booze be the center focus of my dinner this evening for you. So with that, I'm going to get ready to get started. So you guys have a minute to go ahead and grab a drink while I get ready to start this, and you guys can get on doing some bidding and have a great night, and everybody be safe.
Are you in the doghouse tonight? I probably will be. Jewelry's available.
All right, I'm back. So here we go. We've got some Snake River Farm meat here. That will be your entree. I'm going to go ahead and do a wedge salad for you to start off with. And I've got some fun ingredients to use for you. I'm going to do some, shameless plugs here. I will be using some avocados from my Great American Taco Company restaurant, because I'm going to be making a blue cheese and gorgonzola dressing that's going to be folded in with some of these fine avocados from that fine restaurant called Great American Taco Company. So I'm going to start off by folding in a gorgonzola and goat cheese dressing, folded in with some avocado and some garlic and some cumin, some lemon juice. I've got that folded in now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fancy plate. I'm going to take this fancy head of lettuce. I'm going to chop it with my fancy knife. I'm going to take some dressing, put it on the fancy plate. Going to stick the wedge to that like there. So as you can see, there's this fancy wedge. I'm going to go ahead and add some more this avocado dressing to the top. I've got some bourbon soaked bacon here that we're going to go ahead and crust on the top of it. Then I've got just a touch of chili flake, go with it, a little pepper, a little salt, right there, and then we're almost done. You guys get to see me also cut a pear. This is your run-of-the-mill Bosque pear. We'll put some slices on here so you feel like you're getting some health benefits from a very high-calorie salad, which doesn't matter on a night like tonight, because all the gluttony's worth it for a great cause. So there we go. I went ahead and cut that up. We're going to place that on the plate. And then I'm going to grab a fancy piece of garnish here, add that to the plate. And then I've got some shredded artisan carrots to go with it. Put that on top, and that will be your first course. So here's your first course. It's a salad. All right, you guys go ahead and enjoy that. So, some background on the dish I'm getting ready to make you for your entree is that it's going to include some lobster, some cold water lobster from Canada, some Snake River Farms Wagyu. I've got a russet potato that I've smoked inside the smoker next door at Hard Knocks, another shameless plug. And what I've done with this amazing potato is some really cool stuff. So in the morning, we get to Hard Knocks about 5 o'clock in the morning. We throw all our meats in the top 3 levels of the smoker. So I decided to take the bottom rack and fill it full of potatoes. So as everything slow smokes for 5 hours, what ends up happening is all those renderings and drippings fall down on top of the potatoes as they roast. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make a quick, what I call bourbon bacon mash that's been smoked to go along with your Snake River Wagyu. And with that is I have a Terrace Major, which is a shoulder cut of meat. This is their black grade, which would be considered Prime Plus. Also in the smoker, what I've done is I've cleaned and trimmed the Terrace Major. I've wrapped it and rubbed it in some of my shameless plugged a pork and chicken rub from Hard Knocks Barbecue called Papa Pat's. It's named after me. I'm Papa Pat. That's what my wife calls me anyways at certain times of the evening. So we'll do that, and this is what the end product looks like before I put it inside the oven to finish it. So it's been smoked for about an hour, slow smoked for about an hour, and then we go ahead and finish that in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and grab that out of the oven right now so you can see what it looks like. So I pull this out of the oven. It's been roasting in there to finish, and as you can see, what it could use is a little bit of bourbon. So I'm going to throw that while it rests, let the bourbon flame, and really the aroma follow it, and let it linger and work its way into the steak as a nice finish. Now I'm going to teach you how we make these amazing potatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another pan, set it right here. I'm going to cut up the life of all cooking. A little bit of butter to put in there. A little bit more butter to put in there. While we're at it, we're going to put a little more butter in there. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that hot. I'm going to throw in some roasted garlic cloves. A little bit more of my shameless plug rub. I did add a little brown sugar to this rub to make it a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and throw some bacon in there because it should be in there. And we're going to let that cook and render out. All right. You didn't notice I just burned myself? I did. All right. So now we're going to go and let that steak rest. That way we're going to cook off this bacon. While that's happening, I'm going to grab a spoon that I put somewhere. Hang on one second. I'm going to grab a spoon. Don't anybody leave.
Hello, my name is Malcolm, and I love my teacher because she is fun and nice. What I love about my school is we take time to do Mass every single day.
All right, and I'm back with the spoon. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those potatoes as they've rendered out inside that smoke, and you can see the smoke ring that comes around the potato gets on there. It's nice and beautiful. I'm going to dig out the inside, leaving the skin behind. Throw that in there. And I'm going to take this rendered out butter. I'm going to let that butter burn a little bit. The longer you let butter burn, the better it gets. So I'm going to go ahead and add more bourbon to this. Makes a nice flame. This is a family affair, so I have no flaming jokes to tell. All right, see how that bacon got nice and crispy brown, and how the butter's brown, and it's just a beautiful color in there. I'm going to add that to the potatoes. I'm going to take a fancy culinary fork, and I'm just going to mash it all together. So all this goodness is just getting mashed up together. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some salt and pepper to it, season it. Get her all, squash up that garlic real good in there. I'm just going to hold that off to the side for when it's time to plate the next item, which I've got another fancy plate for. All right, we'll get the salad out of the way for right now until it's time to show it all off together. This meat's resting right now. We're going to let it rest for a few minutes before we cut into it. Let it get nice and happy. What I do on these potatoes that's kind of fun is I mold them out with love. Okay, so I'm going to grab some veal stock demi-glace. Fancy term for really cool, fancy gravy. I got to go get another spoon. Hang on.
Do you need a new home accessory? How about the latest and greatest in grilling? Kudu.
And you can make a fort out of it too.
So this is some veal bone stock with some red wine and some butter that we've reduced down. As you can see there, it's going to be real rich. Has some good deep beef flavors. We put that on the bottom of the plate. Spread it out a little bit, like so. I'm going to grab my potato mash mix. Oh, I covered my mic, sorry about that. Grab my potato mash mix and my fancy heart-shaped mold here. We're going to put in one layer of that. Now while we're doing that, I've got that same pan that I cooked the meat in. I'm going to go ahead and run my lobster through that and let it pick up all the flavor off of there real nice. As you can see, I'm going to hit it with some salt, some pepper. I'm going to throw it on the grill and let it cook. Lobster doesn't take very long at all. It's only going to take like a minute. So I'm going to go back to my potatoes now. I've got one layer in there. I've got our house chimichurri that we make here. It's roasted pears, roasted red peppers, roasted poblano peppers, and then we take grilled onions and cilantro and parsley, and we mix it all together and chop it up real fine. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to layer out these potatoes with a little chimichurri in between each layer. So I've done that. I'll give it another top layer. Lots of great color. Take this fancy piece here. I'm going to extract it. And what we are left with is a heart-shaped potato. Because we like to share the love. All right, I'll let you guys see that real quick and great. Isn't that pretty? How fun is that? All right. So now I've got my meat rested. We'll go ahead and grab it. See the beautiful color it has? Looks great. I'm going to go ahead and slice that out. It's about 1/4 inch slices. It's a nice perfect medium. I'll let the blood come out of that for a little bit. Pull my lobster off, which is now finished. We're going to take our Terrace Major that's been smoked, set it on top of that demi-glace that we made. Go ahead and put our lobster tail there. Got some of these fancy carrots that make for an amazing garnish. Put that on top, like so. And I'll take another one of these fancy pieces of rosemary, place it on top like so. A little bit of seasoning. And there you go. That's, for some of you lucky people, this is what you'll be eating this evening. And here's the finished product. All right. Well, that's the cooking segment that I have for you today. I think they have a lot of questions for me, and I've got a surprise auction item for everybody to take advantage of. Some exciting stuff here at Metropolitan Grills. We buy bourbons by the barrel. A lot of you know about my Blanton's barrel that I got last year that I had a lot of success with, that I got to pick out myself. Well, I went ahead and did it again this year with Eagle Rare. So stay tuned and we'll get you filled in on this exciting thing coming up. All right. See ya. Bye.
Tonight we are also asking you to help us support our teachers through giving to the Shepherd's Fund. Studies have shown time and time again that teachers and staff have 2 to 3 times the impact on student success than any other school factor. So we ask for your generosity in giving to this fund.
Part at Bauer Orthodontics, I believe a couple things. One, the experience. You're going to have wonderfully straight teeth, but along the way, you're going to have a good time. I'm probably known as the king goofball here. Got a lot of goofball staff too, and we got a great office mascot here. I really enjoy learning new things. We're doing a ton of Invisalign now. I can feel like I can offer that as a treatment option that can get you the same result as braces can. And we pride ourselves in delivering the most consistent, cutting edge technology we possibly can for our patients. So.
As everybody knows, I like to buy barrels of whiskey and bourbon. So this time around, I decided to buy a barrel of Eagle Rare bourbon, and here's the barrel. I have yet to get the bottles, but I do have the barrel. The bottles will be coming soon. So what I'm proposing is that some lucky person out there is going to get the opportunity to win by auction 3 bottles of my private labeled Eagle Rare whiskey. Excuse me, bourbon. I keep calling it whiskey, but it is bourbon whiskey on the label. So you get 3 bottles of Eagle Rare and this barrel. This will be your barrel, and it'll look great in your bar. And it's a one of a kind. They'll never make another barrel like it. I know for sure because I have it. And then now, after you go ahead and bid on it, you'll be able to have it. So I'm going to start the bidding at $1,000. Ready, set, go.
We love our teachers!
Well, I'm the youngest of 12 kids, and I was starving. So being a chef is probably what seemed the most logical thing to become. Actually, after being in the military as a paratrooper, I had a GI Bill and college fund to use. So I went into the culinary arts and came out of it with a cowboy hat, kind of a beer belly, and a super hot wife. So I think everything worked out pretty well. About 3 or 4 times a year. Honestly, we just make it up. I sit down with myself and my executive chef here, Nick Ringenberg, and we have some rules. We sit down in a room. We have 2 legal pads. We're not allowed to use our phones. We're not allowed to do anything we've made before. and there's a couple beers and a couple glasses of wine, and we come out of it with about 25 to 30 new menu items, and then we go ahead and try to make them. And then from there, we get it down to about probably 14 to 25 menu items that end up on the menu. And but the number one rule is we have to create it. We can't copy it, and it's really, really hard because there's so many amazing dishes out there, so many amazing chefs. But for us, that's the way we like to do it. We like to kind of make it up as we go.
More than just this basket to tonight's deal, you also get a 20-person hot bar from Qdoba.
Great observation, Cody, along with a very COVID-friendly stress ball.
My name is Tony Garcia, and my brother Chewy, my other chef over here in the restaurant. So I'm going to show you some of the steaks that we do here, the cuts that we do. So we do the Wagyu New York strip, filet, and the bone-in ribeye is also Wagyu, which I've never done the bone-in ribeye Wagyu. It's hard to do with all the fat. And we got ribeyes in the menu, regular ribeyes. But we're going to do a little bit of everything. So a little bit some of the ideas that we're going to be doing for the dinner. So we're going to do some scallops. I'm going to cut the New York strip. And my brother, you can start probably blocking some scallops for me.
Got it.
Don't put too much black pepper.
Got it.
So that way it doesn't look like it's really, oh man, look at the marbling here. So that's what we're going to eat in a little bit. And I'm going to pinch here both of them. Because if you put it in the grill, they will flame everywhere. They will make a mess everywhere. Then we're going to go right here. So you're not blocking your way?
Yes, enough.
Okay. So we did that. Prende este más. No depende hasta allá porque no alcanza a llegar en Chuy.
Okay.
Just cook from here to here. Alright?
And then do this.
And he only did salt, black pepper. Something really simple. And let's do some French green beans for that and a little bit of mushrooms. Got it. If you have it in there. And for the fillet and the Wagyu, we're only going to put salt and black pepper. No oil. You don't need any oil for that one. Oh, yeah, closer to me. Thank you, Chuy. Sorry. I'm going to put one at a time. We just kosher salt. And the black pepper. I'm going to put a little bit heavy in the black pepper on the ribeye. On the New York strip, I'm sorry. There you go. Nothing in it. Hot skillet. The fillet the same way. I'm going to pinch it on both sides.
Wow.
It look pretty good, Nachos?
That's a small piece of ribeye. There you go.
Yeah. That looks beautiful.
Almost one.
Yeah. You put a little sauce in there. I normally put a little arrabbiata sauce, which is lightly spicy marinara sauce for the scallops. And also I can do like a saffron cream sauce for the scallops. You can do both of them. So, cooking all the black pepper around it.
Nice and seared.
You can also grill it, but it will flame a lot. It's too much fat in there.
Do a little butter.
And a couple drips of lemon. These babies are good to plate. All right.
No había puesto mantequilla. I'm gonna crochet.
Little garnish with green beans and the little mushrooms. And put one up. There you go.
Does this? Sí, te iba a decir que no echara la mantequilla. So the fillet I painted in both sides, and I'm going to put it in the oven for like 10 minutes. Cooks in the oven. It will cook in the outside and gets the heat more on the inside. All right, so we do risotto, asparagus.
All right. And the risotto.
It'd be hard to get the risotto there, but it can come this way a little bit. There you go.
With the risotto, I'm gonna put a little white wine sauce in chicken broth. Just let it cook low temp.
And the risotto is already pre-cooked a little bit, so that way we can get it done on time. Now it will take me 45 minutes to do it. So this way it'll take me only like 12-15 minutes to make an order.
I'm gonna do some asparagus.
Thank you for supporting Springfield Catholic Schools.
I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna do lobster ravioli. Probably do that for appetizer. A little shrimp, salt, and black pepper. Parsley and fresh basil. Sola. So we make our own. We do our own raviolis, and it's a different shape. So it's not quite round. It's a little oval, like almost like an oval shape instead of circular round. And it's stuffed with the lobster claws. And a little bit of the meat, but the claws is the one that we put in there. It's a little more flavor. A little bit of cream. So the ravioli is going to be slightly spicy with a touch of cream. All right.
Little Parmesan cheese.
I'm going to go this way, Chuy.
Spray you.
So I'm going to take this part out of there. And I know whole looks a lot prettier, but it's not on the table to be cut around the fabric. It's a lot of fat. Don't go too far, Chewy. Stay here.
I know. I'm gonna...
He didn't want to be close to me. He went off the picture.
I didn't want to put the back of the pan for you.
La foto, güey. Right here. All right, we'll go back to it. Do we need any salt, Chewy? Put a little body sage, no?
Got it.
Wow.
It breaks in pieces almost. The fat's pretty good. It's nice crispy bacon. We're going to put a little Parmesan cheese, like a butter sash over the top. So it just gets, make sure that it stays hot all the way through it, but it's still going to be medium red to red. Yeah, put it in the barbecue, sorry. Alright, Parmesan cheese on top. He's in the butter sash. And then the fillet, we're just going to do maybe some type of mushroom Jack Daniel's sauce, something a little more bourbon style. So just a little different. But I know we're going to do some appetizers for escalos for them, and then raviolis for the second course, and then we'll do salad, and then we do the steak, whatever steak we're going to do. We might do something a little wagyu that way early. Aha! And that's it's crispy. You can eat it. It's great flavor. Great, really good for wine. So it's perfect.
Jack Daniel.
Can I steal the Jack Daniels for you? Thank you. The mushrooms.
That pen is hot.
Yep. Muy caliente.
Yep.
Muy caliente. Eso pues. No vas a tirar de ese. So we got. So I do shallots, garlic, rosemary, and the mushrooms. Get a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of water. Get some mushroom sauce here. A little cream sauce, and then I got my veal lemon glaze. And what we do for the filet, we use a little mixed veggies. We're gonna garnish with a little mixed vegetables, green beans. Just a little bit, yeah. You don't need much. Put me a little oil. Serve you another little.
Got it.
Thank you, sir. And it should be ready.
You want to put gorgonzola in the filet or no?
Yeah, put a little on top. Agarro de atrás. You don't have to move the steak.
Yeah.
You get the. So we're gonna melt a little gorgonzola across over the top. Parmesan cheese. Is ready, hecho parmigiano. Right here, bro. A little Parmesan cheese. We're gonna melt it on the steak. And then we're gonna get a round plate too, probably. Yeah, this one right here. Put the sauce down below, and the steak, and a couple green beans. Just almost ready.
A little more butter.
No, it's okay. You don't want it to.
That's
You don't want
good.
it to. Yeah, there we go.
Do a little bit.
Que tenga la cazuela para aquel lado. There we go. So you can see it. Put more. Okay. It's going to be just the steak. There we go.
There you go.
And just pretending that we're going to put some veggies, but not really. People say they don't like vegetables, but we just put it in the plate just in case.
Just for garnish.
There we go.
The carrot will cooperate. Doesn't want to stay there. Date el otro chip de camblé. Date el otro de camblé. All right. And then we're going to do like a crumble style. There you go. Oh, yeah. There you go. And then the signature. Oh, well, for me, I wasn't even thinking to be a chef, but they just happened to be, and I enjoy it a lot, and I had a lot of fun, and I still do have a lot of fun all these years, and I still have fun. So, well, for me, I love seafood. I do like good steak, and to be honest with you, I never get tired of my own food. I can eat. Any given day, I can eat my food any day. Like my steaks, my seafood, my raviolis, my pastas. I'm privileged to be able to get a lot of good quality on the food, and it's easy to eat it, I guess. I think that's when you love food. I mean, just everything becomes to the taste of it instead of saying a fish or meat. I think it's more the taste of the food, you know, like I love a little spicy in the food, so it's the combination with the spicy, I love it.
No spicy for me, he can keep all the spicy.